Hi all, welcome to new Kiali meeting, Sprint 98. Today we are going to show the features of Kiali version 1.76. This is the agenda for today. As always, we will show first a summary of the current Sprint 98 we are closing today. Then we are going to show the highlights of Kiali version 1.76. We have been working the last 3 weeks. Then we will show what we are going to do in the next sprint, number 99. At the end, we will have community discussion where you can ask any question you have. Okay, about Sprint 98, summary, as always, most of the work has been done in the Kiali repository, with 69 tasks done, 6 in review, 5 epics in progress, some of them also in progress, and 14 in the backlog that we will continue working on the next sprint. Here also you can notice that there has been some work in the Kiali operator and the OpenShift Server Business plugin, because we are working towards the release of the GA version of the OSSMC, and also integrated in the Kiali operator, which I will explain you later. Now, let's talk about the highlights of the Kiali version 1.76. Okay, first of all, an update of the OSSM console plugin for OpenShift. Now it will be released with the Kiali Sprint releases. So a versioning of OSSMC will follow that of the Kiali server operator. And also now the Kiali operator will support the installing of OSSMC into the OpenShift console. To explain more details about this, we have Mas. So I pass.
Hello, thank you, Fernando. So we are, like Fernando mentioned, we are going to be shipping the OSSMC, the first GA version with this sprint. This is the plugin that will be deployed in the OpenShift console. So this is really for OpenShift users. The Kiali operator has now been integrated where it will be able to install this OpenShift console plugin for you. So the Kiali operator will be responsible for installing OSSMC in virtually the same way that you install the Kiali server. You create a CR that tells the Kiali operator to go ahead and inject the necessary resources so the OpenShift console plugin will have OSSMC installed. For those that were using a dev preview of the OSSMC operator, we had a second operator that we released as dev preview. For those that were using that, that's going to go away. We've removed that and put the functionality into the Kiali operator, so there is only one operator you have to worry about that will install both Kiali and OSSMC. That just makes installing the infrastructure easier. You now have one operator rather than two. So we'll be removing that second operator soon. Once we release this new Kiali operator 176, we will be removing that dev preview of the old OSSMC operator. And we are going to have documentation on OSSMC in Kiali IO. There is documentation now in staging, so you can see that today, and it will be released on Monday with the rest of the doc. So you will see OSSMC documentation in our Kiali IO doc website. You can go to the next slides. So this is just a real quick view of what is this all about. The OSSMC is integration into the OpenShift console. It provides almost the same functionality as the standalone Kiali UI that we're all familiar with, but it's done within the context of OpenShift console itself. So you can see here, for example, if you were to go to your workloads page in the OpenShift console, you'll see a separate tab now called Service Mesh. And that provides you the view into the Kiali functionality. So here you can see the Kiali graph and some other information here. You can get to the logs and things like that. So from the OpenShift console, directly, you can get into the Kiali functionality without having to go outside of the OpenShift console to go to a standalone Kiali console. So you do it all within the OpenShift console. That's the main idea of OSSMC.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mas, for the explanation of OSSMC. Okay, we are going to continue. In this sprint, we continue with the Patternfly 5 update. The whole Kiali application is upgraded, but there are some deprecated elements that are across the whole application that needs to be migrated to the new Patternfly 5 version. This sprint, we have migrated the dropdowns. All the dropdowns within the Kiali application have been migrated. Next sprint will be the turn of tables. And we hope that with this task, we will be able to complete the Patternfly 5 upgrade process. Another feature that we introduced in this version of Kiali is component status check of Istio in multi-cluster. So if you are in multi-cluster and you want to check that all the Istio components are checked by Kiali along all your clusters, a new config param is introduced in the Kiali configuration. So if you set the is multi-cluster to true, Kiali will check the component status along all your clusters. Apart of this, we have also some notable changes in this version. We have added a Kiali link per cluster in the graph side panel. We have updated Go to version 1.20.10. We have implemented the multi-cluster overview page test, documenting all the OSSMC workflow that have been explained by Mas. About tempo, we have updated the main external link to distributed tracing and the trace data information that we show when we hover the trace graph. And finally, we have updated React script dependencies in the front end in order to give more security and robustness. Related to bug fixes, some bug fixes have been implemented this version, some flaky test, some remote details page linking service, the API version in the out policy, in the wizard, some remote app workload details. This is duplicated. Auto detect of Istio cluster name for remote Kiali setup, some gateway badges that were not shown in the graph. So panic in the graph generator scenario with multi-cluster traffic, and cluster name parent was not sent on when you go to Workload Envoy dashboard. These are all the most important bug fixes that we have in this version. And for the next one, preview of Sprint 99, we have this the same epics in progress. The last one, upgrade to Patternfly 5. I hope this to be finished next sprint or the next one, so it's soon. The same for OSSMC plugin become GA. Tempo also we have the tempo support, improvements, multi-cluster, the Patternfly topology, and investigate ambient mesh, Istio ambient mesh with Kiali integration. And on the right, you can see a list of all the backlog items that we have for the following sprints. And that's all for the Kiali presentation. Now we have the community discussion. Thank you very much for attending. And that's all from my side.